Welcome to 406 Tech Talks. We're back. It's been a little bit of a break, but we're here to kind of wrap up the year and give you an overview of what's been happening and what will be happening.
Lots of fun things coming and fun things been happening in the last month or so.
Yeah, a lot to catch up on.
Do you miss being in the classroom at this time of year?
I really miss the graduating seniors. It was such a fun time to watch them.
But admit, do you miss report cards?
No.
Nor do I. And to teachers who are out there watching, we're really sorry. We have a lot of empathy for you. As you know, Power School being our gradebook program and our student management, there's a lot more that goes on with Power School than we even ever knew about as teachers. But there's two people in our district that are kind of behind the scenes on that. And we would love for you to meet them, only you won't actually get to meet them.
Oh.
Yeah, they're both a little bit camera shy. And so in order to interview them and sit down and talk with them, we had to pull some strings.
They negotiated sort of an avatar situation. So you'll get to hear their wisdom and their experience and things that they do in their positions, through another little figure.
Meet Cheryl Martin and Stephen Riehl. Smart, resourceful, very busy, and maybe just a little bit camera shy, but both experts in what we know as Power School. I recently sort of sat down with the two of them to ask them who they are and what they do.
My name is Stephen Riehl, and I work on Power School.
And my name is Cheryl Martin, and I also work on Power School.
I usually work on customizations or some of the database work.
And I do the day-to-day activity, answer a lot of the calls, and then if I can't solve it, I escalate it to Stephen.
Typically it's reports. The latest one was special ed and 504 accommodations on the teacher attendance screen. Pearson doesn't have anything for that, so we created that and put it in there.
When Stephen says we created that, he means it literally. Stephen writes the code that customizes the Billings Public Schools Power School. So what do you think the most frequent question would be?
I don't think there is a frequent question because we're working with support staff, teachers, parents, doing all sorts of varieties of things. So there's, during report card time, we're getting more report card questions. During the beginning of the year, we're getting enrollment questions. And for the high school and middle school schedule, the high schools have been working on the schedule for next year since October, and the middle schools have been working on theirs since February.
For the most part, it looks the same. There are a few things that high schools use that elementaries don't, and vice versa.
The only difference with the teachers is K through 3 using standards, 4 through 12 assigned grades.
This partnership dates back way before Power School. Remember Zangle? For those of you who don't, maybe you're lucky.
Zangle is it was written in the early 2000s, and they hadn't updated it much since then. They'd made bug fixes and little things here and there, but it was still worked and looked like a program written in the early 2000s.
Power School is a powerful program with a lot of features, but they have to take the time to learn it.
For those who do need to learn it, Cheryl and Stephen will be offering Power School courses all summer long. Here's a sample schedule. These will be available on the MEA trade site coming soon, but what can you expect to see on the agenda?
Everything from Power School 101 to more advanced things you might do, exporting data and working in Excel.
And we're offering classes for both the administrative side of Power School and for Power Teacher both.
For the parents, it's pretty straightforward. We do, on the last class, we do go through what the parents see and how they can navigate through the program.
So what is the difference between Power School and Power Teacher anyway?
Power School is the administrative side. Power Teacher is the grade book and attendance.
While Cheryl's work environment looks somewhat familiar to most of us, what Stephen works in every day is literally a completely other language.
Part of it is just when you work in the database and not in Power School, that's just the only way to work in it.
Say there is some glitch that's not not performing right, he watches the coding as to what that program is doing, and he can catch where the error occurs, and then he can go, and that's why sometimes with the customizations, it'll throw off a page. And so he has to find where that error is in the statement and correct it.
It's a good starting point, but there are things that our district does that seems unique, and so we've got to make it work for us.
And thanks to our Power School experts, most of the time it does work for us. Thanks, Cheryl and Steve, for dancing through this topic with us.
Stephen, what are you drinking?
A Diet Dr. Pepper.
So thank you to Stephen and Cheryl and their twins, their stand-ins.
Their stand-ins.
Their
their
stunt doubles,
yeah.
for doing that for us. So what else? What else has been going on in our district?
Well, the Education Foundation grants were given, which was very exciting.
And a lot of people have already been getting their equipment.
Really?
Yeah, my tilt
Oh,
group, we
good.
applied for a collaborative grant, so they each requested funding for 2 Chromebooks, and they're going to work together next year to actually team teach across town and across grade levels. So they've been experimenting with their Chromebooks and kind of seeing how they work, which is a nice little head start at the end of the year.
Right,
here.
they can work on it this summer.
Yeah, we had iPads go out, projectors, audio systems. Have you heard any?
It's exciting to see. It's kind of like, you know, the prize patrol, seeing them get this equipment and these awards and putting them to use. And that's what we're here to help with as well.
Yep.
Is to get those on the ground and running. So
I already have dates in my calendar for next year.
I do too.
Yep.
It's crazy.
People, so if you have equipment that you want help with, you schedule it now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Slots
yeah,
are filling.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
I know another thing. I have, this one hits close to home. I have a
Yeah.
graduating senior this year. Go ahead, gasp. I know you can't believe that I could be that age, but I am. And there's some big things happening for those seniors too, because they've been sort of rolling in this technology ball that we've been growing over the last several years. And what happens to them now?
I know, that's a great question. So all of their items in Google Drive will be totally deleted in the middle of June by our system. So students can save their sites in their drive and everything they've created here by using a tool called Google Takeout.
I think that's great, the portability, that even if you have an account with one group or organization, you can, you know, transfer that over and transition those files. What a great way to keep that portfolio going and all of that great work
Yeah.
that you've done and can use in other locations and
Right.
as they move on to college and jobs. So what an awesome thing. I've used the Takeout and it was really pretty simple to use to kind of archive and get those things from one account to another.
Does it take some time? I would imagine.
You know,
depending on
yeah,
how
it
full
does.
your-
It kind of depends on, you know, how much you have in there, how much data, the different types of data, sites, you know, have all those components to them and all the things you've uploaded. But what a great way to, you know, preserve those things electronically. It's not, you know, losing papers or those types of things or
Yeah.
keeping a folder. You can have that digital portability of all those things.
That's great. Thanks for mentioning
Yeah, I
that.
think
We'll
they
work on
should
that.
do that sooner rather than later because they create some awesome things. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for, you know, professionals in the district who are perhaps retiring or moving on to other positions, if there are, you know, works that you need to archive and keep and hang on to.
Yep. I'm glad you mentioned professionals in the district because that made me switch gears a little bit. We've been really lucky this year to work with a lot of professionals in the district,
Yeah.
not all retiring, but some through the TILT staff development program. And this is kind of a bittersweet because TILT was initially Desiree's project.
Creation.
Yeah, she got that going off the ground. And for those who aren't familiar with the TILT staff development program, it's a 3-phase
3-year, 3
process.
phase.
Yeah, where the first year you coming in as a learner, and in our first year groups, we taught them a lot of different things, sometimes overwhelmingly so,
Yeah.
I think. But they were the learners, and so they got to feel what it was like to be the student again and really empathize with what their students are going through as they're learning things. And then the second year, they take what they learned in their first year and implement it in their classroom, which is a big step. And then the third year, they are kind of then on par with the leaders, and we expect that they go out and share with whether it's their colleagues or offering trainings. We've
The
got
Castle
several
Rock
coming
teachers
up.
call it train it forward.
Train
Yeah.
it-
As their phrase.
So
train
clever.
it forward.
Yep. So to kind of culminate that process that we had this year. We had staff at all different levels from all across the district, every different grade level, to come together and just celebrate. And we wanted to ask them what their favorite thing about being in Tilt has been, and if they had any advice for members for next
Future
year.
applicants.
My favorite thing about Tilt.
My favorite thing about Tilt.
My favorite thing about Tilt. My favorite thing about Tilt.
My favorite thing about Tilt was
having like-minded teachers that we can bounce ideas off of.
Being able to have time to actually implement all of the amazing technology that I use today.
Learning about so many programs that really were a lot easier to use than I initially thought they would be.
Collaborating with everyone in my group, and also the sharing that you do back at the school.
The discovery part, not only of the tools, but within yourself and within your peers.
it's the time to work and discover and play and learn.
Meeting people and making connections.
I was in a safe place to make a lot of mistakes, and Shelley was really patient with us, and that I met a lot of good people.
Having the support of all of the teachers that are in Tilt, former members. And also, I loved working with Shelley. She was always fantastic. And when she came to visit my room, I learned so much. It's been a great program. I had a wonderful year learning about technology.
Coming to a place where I knew that somebody was going to be there to teach me, and that I didn't have to be afraid or nervous or worried that I wasn't going to look smart enough to do it. Shelley was awesome, and she always made us feel very comfortable. I also liked the group I worked with. They were all very fun and always willing to help each other and learn from each other. So it was fun.
It's all the neat and innovative ideas to use in the classroom, and also just for fun for us. And Shelley is a great facilitator. She gives you enough time to kind of put it together and all that good stuff. It was just an awesome experience.
The ability to work with my fellow colleagues, and I had a great mentor that let me make mistakes, and I didn't feel horrible.
Small group instruction immediately followed by practice. And then we get to go use it in the classroom because you don't really learn it until you teach it.
Being able to collaborate with other individuals, that's probably my favorite. And then also being able to take this stuff back into my classroom.
I think that Tilt is fantastic because it allows teachers to learn first, and that's really important. And the pressure of not having to learn and implement immediately in phase one is really important because it allows you to be a student and understand what students struggle with as well.
Collaborating with everybody in the group. So not only did I learn from the people teaching, but I also learned from my peers. And I love taking it back to my school. I'd be so excited to share it, so I'd get to take it back to my school and show everybody what I learned.
Learning new things and incorporating them, finding ways to incorporate them, and talking to other people.
We learn new innovative technology,
And we get an adult lunch.
Grown-up lunches.
Favorite thing is the adult lunches, and bring money so you can go to lunch.
I love everything about Tilt. You learn so much, and it's awesome.
My advice is to try Tilt because all it can do is help you to learn, and there's great instructors and good people.
Be brave and try it out, and just make sure that you stick with it.
For the people coming in next year, I say don't sweat it so much. Just kind of go with the flow, and you'll just be amazed at how much you learn.
Don't be afraid to try something and fail at it, because it's the only way you learn how to use it.
Be the student. You don't have to know it right away, and be patient and kind to yourself.
So dive in and try lots of different tools and try lots of different things.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because you're going to learn from them, and that's what we tell the kids all.
What a great reflection video, and kind of hearing that. I came in at the end of it, but hearing the teachers, especially those first-year Tilt members, talk about what a valuable experience that was to have the time to practice and use these things before they had to be, live in front of their students. So having those opportunities to grow and make the mistakes and see the ins and outs of the different pieces of software and websites and tools. So I think that really kind of stuck out to me as I watched and talked to them.
I love too how they mentioned that they felt like it was a safe place to come and just mess things up, and nobody's gonna judge them for it. And I think that's the culture we really want to really grow in our classrooms too with our students.
For all learners.
Yeah, so for feeling that ourselves as a learner, to know that that's what your kids are feeling, and that we want them to feel, because as you learn, what did Bobby say there? And the only way to learn it is by doing it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm glad you got to be a part of it, and you'll
Yeah.
have your own
Excited-
tilt groups next year.
Exactly. I'm excited to dive right into all of that. So.
And as for next year, you want to talk about what the process will be?
Sure. So we'll have applications again for phase 1, and then phase 2 and phase 3 will also reapply to make sure that their goals are set and that their objectives are to become a better technology integrator in their classroom. So those applications will come out in the fall, and make sure you check your email from BPS-TIS.
You'll hear from us.
Yeah.
Like always.
Yeah.
So speaking of Desiree, big news.
Aw.
I think a lot of people were surprised to hear that Desiree is going to go to Poly Drive Elementary to become a librarian. So
What a lucky school.
Oh, my
Yeah.
You know, could you imagine having her just in your building as a resource? So
and I'm very excited for her because getting to be kids are why we're here. Kids are
Yeah.
it's been the hardest thing about this job is being away from that, and for her to be able to take what she's done with grown-ups
adults, yeah.
and put it into place where it really can have an impact with students and with the whole staff, and getting to work for a great administrator. And she actually said she's very excited to work with an amazing staff and administrator. Her love of teaching and collaboration will be put to good use, and I think that's great. We're excited for her.
Yeah.
And she's not the only one with big news. What did you get to do? Or what do you get to
Oh,
do?
yes. I get to go to the Google Teacher Academy in July. So I actually get to go to the Google headquarters and have 2 extremely intense days of training. So I'm really excited.
And this didn't just happen. It was kind of a
No.
big deal.
It's quite a process. Thanks to Anne and Charles's help, and Alyssa Gray actually was the one who started this snowball.
She
It
struck
was
the
her
match.
idea, and she found it, and so she really is the one who should be getting the credit here. But so we took tests on Google, and we had to learn a lot. We went through some coursework and helped each other, and then I applied and was one of the lucky ones to get in, so I'm extremely excited. I've seen the group I get to work with. We're already working together. We started that night working together, and just amazing technology integrators and teachers from throughout the United States. So I'm excited to come back and
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Google headquarters.
Yeah.
I know.
Shelley's our trailblazer.
50 people are accepted to the academy.
50 from the whole country.
Yeah, 50. I know. Yeah. Well, I think a big part of it is what we've done as a team, and also our district, because we were one of the first districts to. Karen Palmer has been to Google headquarters, one of the first districts to use Google Apps for Education. So I think because I was from Billings.
Yep. So, in other positive news, what are you guys doing this summer?
This summer, I have a couple days off, and then I work
Literally
for
2 days off.
literally 2 days,
Which you might be giving training
exactly.
for.
But,
Yeah.
it's good to stay busy. But I've worked for several years now for the Upward Bound program at MSU Billings, and so that's been a great opportunity to work with students and see students from the district and surrounding areas, that college prep sort of work and getting them ready for that next step to be, college and career ready. It's a great program.
Oh, yeah.
I get to, in addition to the science that I've taught in the past years, I get to teach a little technology class in the afternoon. So I'm looking forward to taking all of these things that I've learned and these new things and trying them out with those students as well. So it's a great opportunity to kind of stay on top of my game and fresh with new information. So,
What about you? What are you doing?
I am super busy. I'm going from Phoenix to North Carolina to California. Even we're doing a training in Troy, Montana.
Troy, Montana. I get to go to Troy, Montana. I think it was described to me as it's this far from Canada and this far from Idaho. So,
so if you want to
That'd be
take a trip, you could follow them and be sort of.
learn to become a Google superhero.
Yeah. But we're doing that here as well.
Yes, that's true.
So we have a lot of trainings here. And I think they're almost all full. So if you haven't been on the MEA trade site, you better hop on there if you want some of those spots.
Yep. I know we've been asked a lot, what classes are you offering over the summer? What classes are you offering over the summer? And just because the ones that we are offering are full, or maybe you didn't get the dates don't work for you, that it doesn't end there. There's a lot of opportunities for people to do professional development over the summer to kind of avoid that summer slump and keep yourself in tune with some of the new emerging technologies or existing technologies, or maybe you got a new iPad and how do I use this thing? So iTunes University is a great resource.
For students and teachers.
Free.
How about Twitter?
How about Twitter? So yeah, you could stay in tune. I'll be tweeting over the summer. It's something I can do. And there are the Ed Chats available. You can look for those, the Montana Ed Chat, Wyoming. A lot of states have an Ed Chat to kind of stay fresh and see what's going on.
Yeah, use that social media for more than just social. We're active on Facebook and Pinterest. So you can watch for
and
those
Google
things.
Plus.
Yep, Google Plus as well. Mimeo offers training on demand. So if you're getting a new Mimeo interactive projector.
I know over 100 Mimeo interactive projectors were ordered from the levy. I think it'd be awesome if every teacher who's getting one did a little bit of those videos just to know the basics.
Right, because when we do launch into trainings in the fall, they'll have some background knowledge.
And I'll chime in too. There are similar things available for Promethean, so I'll chime in for the Promethean folks. There are some great professional development opportunities on Promethean Planet, but kind of just to give you those foundation skills or to refresh if it's been a while since you've had some of those introductory things. But just, we want you to really hit the ground running next fall. That's the idea. We expect that of our students to kind of, if in an ideal world, pick up right where they left off. We know that there is a little bit of backslide, but wouldn't it be great if we, could model that as well and be ready to go with all of this new equipment and technology that's coming in.
And can we say one more time, again, because now we're going into year 2 of this, thank you to the Billings community for allowing this to happen. And what a horrible problem to have that we've got this flood of equipment coming in that we have to do all this training for. Teachers are excited and kids are excited, and I think it's really reinvigorated a lot of people to the possibility of teaching what needs to be taught in a really fun and exciting and engaging way. So thank you. That's exciting for all of us.
It's a great problem to have.
Yes, definitely. What else? We got a cool opportunity coming up with the Summer Tech Summit.
So August 11th through the 13th.
Followed by Ed Camp on the 14th.
On the 14th. So that will be out at Eileen Johnson Middle School at the Lockwood campus in the new middle school building. So this is the second year they've hosted. It's a great facility, my old home. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're getting the schedule arranged and getting all the presenters entered.
Great presenters.
Yeah, a lot of variety. A lot of things that if you want to go to something, you probably won't miss out.
Yeah, and it's nice because whereas like the tech fair, we had short sessions. Right. These are actually 2.5-hour sessions, so it gives you time to not only kind of dive into whatever topic interests you, but to actually have some work time and some time to question the facilitator about how that could look in your classroom. And I know I've attended the Tech Summit twice as an attendee and once as a presenter, and I would hands down say it's one of the best professional development opportunities I've had because you're in the summer. It's laid back, you've got time to focus and learn.
And like you say, it's people in the throes, it's the actual
it's your
teacher.
colleagues.
Yeah,
and what a great boost in August, right before those things happen, to have those ideas fresh in your mind.
That's right. What about for your kids? We've got all these opportunities for ourselves as teachers, but our children and our colleagues with children and community members out there with kids, what can they do over the summer to not be stuck behind a video game, Not that that's bad.
Well, it depends.
I've played my share of 2048.
Reading Rocks, hosted by the Education Foundation, is very cool.
Through Twitter, you found an article that you had shared with us earlier this week about lots of different opportunities for teachers and students digitally. One of them that I was impressed by was called 10 Marks, and they have free online summer programs that are adaptive software to help your kids so that they don't lose math skills over the summer. That's really cool, especially that it's free.
Yeah.
One summer in my neighborhood, we actually did a little photo scavenger hunt. We went and bought just the disposable cameras, and we sent the kids out in little groups of 3 or 4, and there was a list that we came up with. Find a triangle, find something with the letter A on it. I mean, just lots of different things. And then we came they brought the cameras back together and put together a little slideshow, and that was really fun.
Can't you do a photo scavenger hunt in another cool way? Because you set one up for us.
There's a super cool tool which I'll actually show you how to use.
Okay, good.
Called Click-a-Clue.
Click-a-clack-a-clue.
And all the K's are in there are K's, but you can do a treasure hunt or a scavenger hunt. So you go around and you take pictures of things that you want them to find, and you can use GPS technology, so it'll actually guide you to there. Or you can turn the GPS off and then just send your friends roaming through a building looking for random things.
But she gave us a great prize at the end, so it was cool.
Yeah, it's a lot more interactive though. I mean, it's not just pictures. You're matching up images and
Answering
things that
questions
are providing feedback and comments as you go through the journey. So really cool.
It would be really fun, I think, to do it around your neighborhood with your little guys. Find something that's alive. Find something that's shaped like a cylinder. I'm always thinking that way.
I heard someone mention, I don't remember who it was, but back to school kinds of things to get new students oriented to the new spaces they're going to be in, and find this person and take a picture of this location. Where's the counselor? Those types of things. So what a great extension to just carry that on. And
Desiree was talking about using it to help her new library students, identify different parts of the library.
Yeah.
Where do you find the nonfiction books?
Exactly.
It'd be fun. It's kind of similar, I guess, to geocaching, which is also very fun, but easier and maybe more family, kid-friendly. Coding. We did the coding event earlier this year, and we had a whole episode on coding. But the code.org website still has those resources available, and they're very fun. They're even fun for adults.
Yeah.
Kind of addicting.
But wow, wouldn't it be cool to have your kids go back to school next year understanding the concept behind code and that logic process that makes it work? So lots of fun things to do. And if you check our website, we'll have lists of resources for you there.
Yes. Speaking of website, I'll do a quick plug. We're in the process of sort of remodeling the website a little bit, hopefully to make it a little easier to navigate. And as you get those new technologies, pouring into your classrooms, that if you need some help real quickly, you can jump on the website and find a resource, or at least find a quick way to get a hold of one of us or a tech or someone who can help you out. So, keep checking back. We're kind of moving some things around and restructuring and reorganizing. So if you have any feedback or things that you'd like to see on there, don't hesitate to contact us.
Yeah, ideas, suggestions, feedback, as you said, that's all.
Something in a different place that's easier to find. We want to make it easy for you. So the contest for this week is to find out what advice you have for sort of your summer survival. And so on our website, to kind of get you over there to take a peek and check things out as it goes through this transition, we'll have a Google form where you can answer a few questions about some of your summer favorites, ways to stay professionally recharged and ready for the year to come. So that will be there, and there'll be just a few questions to answer, nothing really tough. And our prizes will be?
We've got two things. Free registration for the MCCE Summer Tech Summit, which we just talked about. This is a $75 value. So if you go on and you submit the form, this is one of the things you could win. Or
you could win Tech Cadre registration, which is also a $75 value. It's 40 OPI renewal units. It's awesome. Great networking.
Really fun.
It is really fun.
And that's held on Saturdays all throughout the school year. So this one you can hang on to for next year. But
yeah, so we'll kind of look through your answers, and you'll be entered in to win one of these registrations. So
well, it's been super awesome working with you guys this year. I look forward to our many adventures next year.
Yes.
Me too, with you.
I'm excited.
Yes.
We're a team.
We are a team. Yes.
All right, have a great summer. We look forward to seeing you next year.
Stay in touch.